Hi there. So Shannon and I are about to do our, well, I guess we're just doing a walk today. We're having a walk. We're having some time hanging out with each other, doing some stuff. And we usually, when we walk, we look for cars because that makes me happy. So today, the first car we're seeing is a electric vehicle built by University of Victoria. It is a, I want to say, I don't know, it's a Chevy something. They just came out with these. And I guess it's, I want to make an assumption that is it a traditional hybrid that they've probably fiddled around with a little bit to make it a little bit more electric than it was before. That's usually how it goes. Oh, we built an electric car, we fiddled with the electronics, and you know, all it was an electric car that they just, a vehicle equipped with electric stuff to begin with, but they just mildly made it manually controlled instead of automatically switching between hybrid modes. Time Capsule Victoria. What's that?
It's got a tape player with tapes.
It's got a tape player with tapes. It's automatic. There is tapes in there. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see this in the video, but there's tapes in there. Original hubcaps. I love Victoria for like just little things like this. Where I mean, few people appreciate an unmodified original Hyundai Excel. Just around the corner from the Hyundai Excel are a matching pair of, I think these are Sevilles. I might be wrong, it might be DeVille's, and yet another, an Oldsmobile tucked way in the back there. We have an old C10 or C20 pickup, and a Buick, or a Pontiac, sorry, my apologies, a Pontiac Sunbird. Some of the vehicles that come, that are just, literally, it's parked on the road every single day. It is a legitimately plated, fully used work truck. Just people using their vehicles. I like it a lot. Delicas everywhere. Delicas everywhere. Delicas everywhere. A common occurrence in British Columbia, and I want to say Quebec, which is oddly similar to British Columbia in some way, and quite different from the rest of the edges or the middles of the inside of Canada. Is that people like their diesel four-wheel drives. Now, Delicas, which were sold in Japan, were picked up by, there must have been one really well-organized, strongly opinionated importer, because suddenly these Delicas started flowing in. And I'm not a big fan of Mitsubishis, to be honest. I have never had much of an interest in them. I've had a couple Mitsubishis and didn't really like them. But in any case, these caught on here quite a bit. And there's probably like 5 or 6 different importers that just bring them in. They just bring them in all the time. And there's piles of them running around. Oh, what kind of bicycle are you? Just hidden away. It's a really nice looking bike. Just going to sneak in and take a look. It's an Aroba. Interesting. And it's got, yeah, that's cool. Anyways, the Delicas. There's lots of them here. Lots of hippies here. Hippies like oh, let me say that. The Delica is the replacement for the Volkswagen van. Or the Volkswagen bus, I should say. All the hippies have picked up the Delicas and latched on them, you know, with the ever-increasing popularity of diesels in North America versus Europe. We also have a blue Miata, lost and forgotten under a tarp. So we're talking about BC-related vehicles, and work trucks are one of my favorite things that I came out here to see. So there's a lot of people that are in the logging industry, or just at least working up north and different areas, and work trucks really come about to be very unique and specific and special here. And these logging boxes are called, I believe they're called anyways, are really common, and I really like them. Shannon's a pretty quick-witted young lady, and she noticed that the Joneses are keeping up with the Joneses. So we've got an Audi 4-door sedan, we've got an Acura 4-door sedan, both luxurious, you know, import sedans, blah blah. And we both got Minis. One, obviously, we bought our Mini before the Cooper 2-door coupe came out. In Victoria, there are lots of Corollas. This one is a GTS. With February 2012, the plates on it. Let's knock on the door and see what's going on here. Sounds like the dog's home. Yep, the dog's home. Nobody else, though. Look, I'm pretty excited about finding this on our walk. It's an unmodified, or at least lightly modified, Corolla GTS with some cardboard on the interior. It's a Zenki. It looks like it's owned by a Chinese family because I can see the little bag on the back there. It's got the factory wing. I'm feeling like I'm creeping around on somebody's lawn a little bit too much here, but I'm pretty excited. That's a really nice shaped GTS. So after finding our Corolla GTS just around the street, somebody has a Ford Capri 2.8 injection. Just look at that. Is it imported?
Oh yeah.
It's brought in.
Second-hand drive. It's the only one we know of in North America, actually.
Oh, okay. Just a second there. We've got some minis tucked away.
It says Rover Japan on the back of that.
So it's a right-hand drive, or it's a Japanese import mini. Which is pretty cool. It's probably like they sold them up until 1994 brand new in Japan.
That one's a 1989 Japanese Mini.
Yeah.
With a Honda VTEC in it.
Okay, that's awesome. This looks very British as well in there.
Yeah, it's a 1989 Mini GTM Coupe.
Okay.
One of 500 made in the world and the only one in North America.
That's awesome. And we also have a estate, mini estate or
panel van.
Panel van.
62.
Okay. So yeah, this is our fuel injected UK spec. It would be I believe a second gen Capri, and it's quite fancy. It's quite nice. Manual, everything's there. And yeah, it's awesome. Just awesome. If you haven't seen one of these before, these are sort of Ford's UK answer to the Mustang when they tried to sell the Fox body there in 1981. Even raced them at Nürburgring and stuff, and they just didn't catch on in Europe. So they came out with these guys, and they were much more had a much greater appeal, and sold a whole bunch of them. Fanciness. One of the tricks when car hunting is to check out license plates. They tell you many of them tell you exactly what you need to know. This one was purchased from Metro. In Duncan, so this is an island car. You can even see the Metro Duncan down there. But also it says July 06. So this car hasn't been moved in a while. Obviously you can see with the wonderful amount of moss on the side of it. Victoria is definitely full of many hippies, and they often leave their vans behind. As we were talking about Delicas are the new hippie van, but the old one is the Volkswagen bus. And there's plenty of them kicking around, and they're pretty neat. And there's a lot of them here. There's quite a lot of them here. But I don't ever expect to find too many good cars down in little suburbs like we are in here. But here we are. We're looking at what it looks to be a 1979 Honda Civic, windows open. Been sitting here since 2009 at least. 78, 79 Honda Civic, maybe a 1980, but I think 1980 was second generation. This would still be a CVCC Civic. Yeah, pretty neat. We'll leave a note. Oh, another good thing to have is to have notes. Now, I have these. I've had better ones in the past. These ones do the trick. Some people give me a call for them. I suggest having a little bit better of a style of one, but these ones are good for my wallet. They fit right in, and I just keep them. I also have embarrassing photos of my girlfriend in my wallet as well. Would you like to see? No, we don't want to see. Okay.
No.
Yeah, but I keep those handy just in case when you're wandering around and doing stuff. In relation to keeping up with the Joneses, as Shannon has commented, the Mini was definitely the inspiration. This is looks like another Japanese import. There's a pile of them here. There's even a couple Mini shops in town. This one's got bolt-on add-on flares and Mini lights, and there's Shannon wandering around. But yeah, that Honda Civic we just looked at is just down the street. Victoria is just flooded with interesting, cool cars. Another automobile that's easily to be found very easily on the island here is Cadillac. And there is a strange thing. Cadillacs at one point were considered the greatest car ever made, blah, blah, blah. But they stopped being it, and people didn't notice. They didn't notice that they weren't very good cars anymore. And so they kept kind of holding on to them. And I just want to point out that this thing is in full trim, much longer than the four-door BMW beside it, and has less interior space than the BMW beside it as well. Actually, the Mini over there probably has more interior space and cargo and power and fuel economy than this automobile, and it's probably nicer and more comfortable. What happened? What happened, Kat? Look at the hood from here. If you can see it, you can see under the mirror, it curves along into the front of the hood. It actually looks like the bow of a boat. And they did that on purpose. And they had the big trunk in the back, but there's no wood grain. You forgot the wood grain of the boat. At least if you're going to copy the boat, make it look like there's not even a sail or a mast. I'm a Corolla guy. I like Corollas a lot. Obviously, this is an A92 sedan. It's okay shape. I mean, if you go out east, these aren't in great shape, and this one's in decent shape for what would be. This would be Ontario Mint, we'd say. Now, this is out here. People use them as work cars. As you can see, it looks like somebody has a bird, and they let the bird loose in the automobile. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. Obviously, they're a painter, and they like to bring their work home with them. Oh, they painted the mirror too, or that was a repair attempt. That is what appears to be plaster. Just want to point that out. We find a 240 sitting in a driveway. 240s are worth $1 bajillion, one whole 100 bajillions, and the plates are very expired. Let's go knock on the door and see. Let's see if what the deal is here. No, nobody's here. Okay, we're gonna leave a note. We'll leave a message.
I guess we can try that door as well.
We'll just leave it with our newspaper. Yes, there we go. It's on there. Still on our walk here. I just want to point out that there is a Vega just chilling there with what looks to be a huge scoop and a breather just hanging out under the hood, and yet another Hyundai Excel. This is like literally 2 steps from the girlfriend's place just down the street. The Hyundai Excel over there is actually looks what to be in nice or pretty decent shape. I didn't expect the Vega or the Excel, although I keep getting excited about Excels, but I'm really not actually. Well, you know what, I am. I like the idea of them. I like the idea of an affordable car that everybody can drive around and, does the job. And I like that it was the Hyundai's sort of introduction into the market here. They're starting to become a little bit more interesting as time passes. So, I noticed the front headlights of the Mazda GLC down here, and then the MG just down the street. And this is dead end I've never been down. And I actually had heard rumor, and this is the moment you're actually experiencing me find that there is a Toyota van, a right-hand drive Toyota van, just tucked down here. And there's another C10 or C20 pickup there as well. Wow, Victoria is crazy. I really like it here. So I'm gonna leave a note on both vehicles, since that's a GLC wagon. Now, just located around the corner is another GLC that were sold as both front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive at the same time. This is the rear-wheel drive model. There is it's TR6. My apologies. And a right-hand drive Toyota Town Ace or Light Ace, just parked here. We finished up our walk, and we had a lot of fun walking around. And because we're huge nerds, she's even wearing like a mechanic nerd.
It's my name. It's not anybody else's name. My name.
Okay, nerd name. Anyways, so we finished it up by reading a little bit of the Toyota Way. Specifically, I want to look at, what are we looking at? Chapter 5. The focus on this thing is off, way off. It's about Lexi. Let's find chapter 5. Where are we? We're right on the page that I wanted to be, oddly enough. One go. I just want to point this out. This is actually the page I needed to be. If you want to make a car that goes very fast, and this is a quote, by the way. There's a quote of a guy
Shiro Suzuki.
Shiro Suzuki. So he's named after Suzuki. So that, I don't know, man. Although the motors are built by Yamaha. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, if you want to make a car that goes very fast, it is very well suited to also reducing the aerodynamic resistance. So these two elements are harmonious. That's so Japanese, that word harmonious. There you go. It's a blurry version of it for you. When you get up to speeds of 250 kilometers per hour, your air resistance reaches levels at about 95%. Or over. I'm not sure what the 95% is in relation to. I'm not really sure how
it means the air is 95% solid.
95. No, I would say that's 95% more resistance than like
Then no resistance at all.
than at rest. I don't know, but it because it could be it definitely could be greater than 95%. There's a possibility for that. Anyways, so the more you're able to reduce this aerodynamic coefficient, the more speed you're going to be able to achieve. So these things suit each other well. These two targets, similarly, improving the fuel economy is very harmonious with the goal of reducing the vehicle mass. Okay, now this is we're talking about 1990, all right? And they already knew that the lighter the car is, the better the fuel economy was. I mean, this was pretty old. Oh, I get a cameraman now. Are you Vern? Does anybody remember
I'm just Vernon.
You're Vern?
I'm the man in the white coat. Don't mind me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
keep talking.
This puts me on the spot. It's very strange. Anyways, they already knew that reducing the mass was ability to reduce the resistance it takes to accelerate. The resistance it takes to accelerate is where most of your fuel economy issues or woes are. I mean, really honestly. And that's why they're working on regenerative braking and all that stuff, so that you can generate power for an electric motor, because otherwise in a traditional standard automobile, you're not actually generating power by slowing down. So it's nice with new electric vehicle. Anyways, they already knew this, so it really shouldn't be anything new. He's saying this in a way that it's a quote of him talking to the engineers saying, you know what, if we made it lighter, it'd be better on fuel. And as if that's new information for these people that have been in the industry probably already for 30 years at this point. They would have had to have learned from somebody else, unless they were learning from the General Motors influences of the 50s and 60s, where just jamming wings on things was of any sort of purpose or goal other than stylistically causing the cars to be dangerous at high speeds. But anyways, where were we? However, we didn't know what to do with the quietness factor, because to reduce the quietness to an extreme level, that leads to a higher mass. Obviously, the thicker that something is, the less vibration it has. So we needed to start acting on a new operating principle. And the new principle, and this is actually where the Lexus thing is interesting and kind of rad and different than what, or at least to me, what was different than anything else at the time. And so we have a new operating principle. And the new operating principle we adopted was not to dampen the noise that exists, but to reduce the amount of noise at its source by making quieter engines. Okay, so it's pretty obvious and pretty logical stuff to aim for the source of where a problem is. It wasn't something that a lot of people did, I guess, back then, which is very strange. And I want to say British engineering. I just can't do it. Anyways, this is an image of me reading a book, and that's how we're going to end this video, I think. I haven't read it. Shannon's read it. I don't have the patience or focus to read it, but it seems from the bits I've seen that it's a weird shot. I've got a bit of an angle to it. Anyways, from the bits that I have poked through it, might want to give that a try. Bye.